Hey, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing and a brief overview of the Montech Air 900 ARGB white mid-tower chassis. As I do with all of my case videos, the next video is going to be building inside of this case, so definitely stay tuned. So let's go ahead, just open her up, see what's inside. All right, so nothing else inside of this box. All right, and let's come a little bit closer. All right, so right off the bat, we can already see that it is a white case. Now I was given the option between white and black, which are the two options they sell. I chose the white one because it's just a little bit different. All right, so we can see it is a full glass side panel. So there is nothing obstructing your view. You can see your entire system. That is beautiful. Along the front here, it does have a solid white bezel with the Montech logo right up here. And then you can see along the sides, right up here, and right over here. This is to allow more air inside of the case. Along the back here, we can see a 120 millimeter fan. This might look a little bit weird to you, but there's actually 8 expansion slots. So that's pretty nice. And then of course, for your power supply down here. Now, along the top, we have the opening there, which does have a magnetic dust cover up there. Along the top, you can fit 2 120 millimeter fans or 2 140 millimeter fans. Okay. Then along the front, we can fit 3 120 millimeter fans or 2 140 millimeter fans, and it does come pre-installed with 1 120 millimeter fan, just like the back over here. Now, along the front over here, may be a little bit difficult to see right now, the little strip outlining the filter, that is an ARGB lighting strip, 2 of them. So it does come with ARGB lighting that will either work with the ARGB header on your motherboard, or if you don't have it, you can just plug one 4-pin into the motherboard and then the other needs SATA power. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, just open up this side panel. Now, the side panel does come apart and is held up with 4 thumb screws. Come a little closer so you can hear this come off. Oh, that was beautiful. All right, so this tempered glass is 0.4 millimeters thick tempered glass. Then along the other side, we also have the potential for that beautiful sound. Some beautiful ASMR there. All right, so very nice and thick tempered glass. I'm gonna put that aside for right now. All right, and then over here, we do have the Air 900 manual. This is going to just give you a bunch of the information that I'm going to be going over with you here. So you can just put this aside for now. All right, and then over here, they do bring a little baggie that includes 5 thin zip ties, a PC speaker, which is definitely important to have in case your motherboard doesn't have a PC speaker, so you can diagnose what could be wrong with your motherboard in case it doesn't boot. Then a bunch of screws and standoffs so that when you build it, you have what you need. It also does include these two little guys over here that would be for the rear side panel or the SPCC side panel over here, the solid side panel, in case you want to use these instead. It includes 4 screws for your top mounted radiator, which supports 120, 140, and 280 millimeters, or your front mounted radiator up here, which supports 120, 140, 280, and 360 millimeters. So that definitely comes in handy, though many times the liquid cooling units will bring their own, but they include some just in case. And also because these are a little bit more flush than the screws that the liquid cooling units do include, that way you can put your top filter back on and not having it bulge out of the sides. And then this little rubber peg here is pretty important, just in case, you know, you're removing and putting back on the side panel. In case one of these guys does happen to fall off, it does have 4 of them. These are rubber, so it's not only going to help sound dampening when you do have that side panel on, but again, in case you lose one, they do give you a replacement, which is pretty nice. Then here they include 2 rear covers for over here in case you do remove some and lose some. All right, so removing the rear side panel, again, thumb screws here, so you don't need any tools to open up the side panels. Gonna go ahead, just undo this. But again, we have them for later. Okay, so we can see there are 2 rubber grommets right over here. That way you can easily slide cables in and out for better cable management. And then already they give you a little cable management there, but does include 3 Velcro ties back here to help you better cable manage. All right, and then in all these cables, it does include an HD audio, USB 2.0, your front panel power switch. This is going to be your ARGB header, and then the 3-pin for power, reset, HDD LED, and your power LED right over here, and then a USB 3.0 header as well. So over here, you'll notice there is 1, 2, 3 spots for SSDs, as well as these 2 trays down here. So in total, 5 2.5-inch places you can put drives in, and then 2 of these trays where you can put either 2 2.5s or 2 3.5-inch SSDs or hard drives. So they give you plenty of options there for hard drives, which is nice. Then down here, which seems a little bit larger, which is great, a little power supply shroud down here, or enclosure, which it is an enclosure for a shroud. We can see the shroud right down here. And then what I'm seeing included a lot lately is a little opening here so that you can see the side of your power supply in case you ever need for, you know, diagnostic purposes, so you can tell somebody what your power supply is. Or of course, if you have a logo there that you like to see on your power supply, you can see it in the full side panel there. On top of here, let me bring you a little bit closer. So that on top of the power supply shroud, we can see the ventilation right over here. Then there are 2 openings here, so we can pull some cables through the bottom of the power supply shroud up through the motherboard tray. Again, the 8 PCIe covers or PCI covers, the rear 120 millimeter fan, the 2 grommets right over here so we can slide cables in and out easily, the front 120 millimeter fan included, and then of course we can either put 3 more fans or the liquid cooling unit. All right, so let's go underneath. Okay, so underneath here we can see they have another magnetic dust filter. That one may not be magnetic, but regardless, you got to pull that one out. Okay, and then here, 1, 2, 3, 4 screws so that you can remove that hard drive tray in case you wanted to. Now, I'm going to be putting I assume I'm going to be putting my liquid cooling unit up at the very front. Now, doing that, it looks like I might have to remove that cage, so it should be able to fit in there. Not 100% sure, which will be the Arctic 360. Now, if I can't, I would just have to use my Corsair 280 right up here, but thankfully they give you plenty of options. All right, so coming up along the front, we can see there are 2 USB 2.0s, 2 USB 3.0s, the LED button in case your motherboard doesn't have the ARGB header, like the Z390 Dark that I'm using, a reset button, and a power button, as well as the headphone and the microphone port as well. This will support CPU cooler heights of 165 millimeters or 6.5 inches, a maximum graphics card length of 370 millimeters or 14.57 inches, a power supply down here of up to 190 millimeters. The case material is SPCC and will support motherboard specifications of eATX, ATX, micro ATX, and mini ATX. And the measurements are 430 by 213 by 480 millimeters. And one of the nicest things about this case, even though it may look expensive with all the features it has, it's under 70 bucks. So if you want to check it out, make sure to check in the description below. And as always, please do click like and subscribe. That way I can continue bringing you bigger and better things just like this. All right, guys. Iggy out for now. Please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as I mentioned before, stick around for the system build so that you can see how to build inside of this case. All right, guys, Iggy out. See ya.